U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is reviewing cleanup efforts to remove nuclear waste from Coldwater Creek. Fox 2's Shirley Washington reports environmentalists have been fighting for decades to clean up the creek.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is reviewing cleanup efforts of radioactive waste at Coldwater Creek. The Corps conducts these reviews periodically to determine whether adjustments should be made to cleanup plans. Some environmental advocates are pushing for more nuclear waste to be removed from the contaminated creek. St. Louis played a major role developing the world's first atomic bomb during World War II through a highly classified federal government program called the Manhattan Project.
In the decades leading up to World War II, there was speculation about energy that might reside in atoms. And the Manhattan Project was the U.S. government's official effort to explore the extraction of that energy, see if that could be made real.
Mallinckrodt Chemical Works, which was located downtown, processed uranium to make the bomb a reality.
In order for nuclear weapons to be built and to be made, the first ingredient that is necessary is a purified uranium sample.
After the U.S. dropped bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945, Japan surrendered. When the war was over, the federal government stored rows and rows of metal barrels filled with thousands of tons of radioactive waste generated at Mallinckrodt after processing uranium for the atomic bomb on land north of Lambert Airport.
The 22-acre site was exposed to wind and rain and weather, and there was a substantial amount of erosion via all of those modes, and Coldwater Creek ran adjacent to this site.
The barrels left out in the open and unprotected leaked radioactive material into Coldwater Creek.
In 1949, the government knew that this stuff was leaking from the airport into Coldwater Creek, and they deemed it too dangerous to have the workers go in and repair the leaks, change out the barrels, so instead they decided to do nothing and let it continue leaking.
In the 1940s, records show federal officials characterized the risks to the public as minimal or low level. Throughout the decades that followed, families moved into homes built along Coldwater Creek without public knowledge of the potential danger. Kids from one generation to the next played in the contaminated waters and on the contaminated banks of the creek, which overflowed and continues to overflow during heavy rains, flooding nearby homes.
We can put names and faces to backyards and homes now, and people that we love who I feel like were put in harm's way.
In 2019, the Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry found radiological contamination in and around Coldwater Creek prior to remediation activities could have increased the risk of some types of cancer in people who played or lived there, including children.
My son and my daughter-in-law are both Coldwater Creek babies.
Karen Nickel believes her granddaughter is sick because her parents played in Coldwater Creek when they were kids.
My 6-year-old granddaughter was born with a mass on her ovary that had to be removed when she was 3 weeks old.
The Army Corps of Engineers is posting 196 warning signs along Coldwater Creek. The Missouri Coalition for the Environment is pleased with the effort, but says more needs to be done.
The sign says don't dig, but they don't address the contamination inside the creek corridor. It doesn't address any surface level contamination that we know exists out there in the community.
The coalition collaborated with Washington University's Environmental Law Clinic to draft a letter to the Corps requesting more nuclear waste be removed from Coldwater Creek and North County than originally planned.
One of the things we would like to see the Corps do is go further out in what they're doing with and they're looking for radioactive materials.
The Corps responded, writing in part, "We acknowledge the concerns raised and we acknowledge the community's need for reassurance that we prioritize their health and safety." It's been nearly 80 years since Coldwater Creek was contaminated with radioactive waste.
In the 40s and 50s and 60s, people were just terribly negligent and reckless with the way they handled this material.
Environmental advocates say there must be a greater sense of urgency to clean up one of the most polluted creeks in the country.
I would like to see it cleaned up to a level where it really can be safe and that people can live by it, people can go in it. they can just go ahead and live their lives, safely and not have to worry about it.
The Army Corps of Engineers says it could take up to the year 2038 before the radioactive waste is cleaned up. Meantime, it is expected to release this record of decision on whether it will expand the cleanup of Coldwater Creek later this year. Shirley Washington, Fox 2 News.